That's going to wrap it up for our top stories. Next up, we got a new segment, which is hosted by Darren.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to be showing you how to set up some racing rigs.
Yeah, we're going to start with a do-it-yourself rig that was my original rig. We call it Old Faithful, and you guys may have seen it. If you're an old fan of the show, you may have seen it on here many times. It started out just as natural wood. We painted it up a little bit, but a good buddy of mine, Dean Ayer, was the originator of it, and we're going to show you how to get to his site and how to build your own.
Let's find out how to build.
All right, here we are with our segment on sim rigs for under $1,000. Darren Ganji
with Sean Cole.
And Sean and I have been talking about doing something like this for a long time. Actually, Sean did a piece a long time ago on his sim rig.
My original one. I think we'll cover that one another day someday.
We definitely will. First of all, we're sitting here with the Z-Frame, brand new rig that they come out with from TSW, Thomas Superwheel. And these guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, these guys build bulletproof stuff, and their rig, well, I guess we'll tell them about that later.
Pretty bulletproof, though. I'll just say that right from the get-go. But yeah, these guys have been around for a long time. My first true solid wheel was a TSW, won it off CompuServe back in the day. And a guy named Brian Swigger, as a matter of fact, I won that thing, God, over 10 years ago. So anyway, these guys have been around for a long time. So we have their first, this is actually their prototype rig. First off of not even really an assembly line. They pretty much build everything one-off. But this is their first version of it, and there's definitely some changes that are going to be made from this, but I'd like to thank them for sending this to us. Great guys, great company, and again, they've been around for a long time. But we're also here to talk about, and we mentioned this at the top of the show, the Old Faithful, my original sim rig that a lot of you old-time viewers, or they watched the show for a while, definitely saw this back in some of our original shows.
Yeah, and I remember when I met you a good 5 years ago. Well, we've known each other longer than that, but when I actually met you, you were on that rig way back when.
Yep, exactly. I built it, I think, a little bit before you, and then you actually had a hand in upgrading it.
We did a little tune-up to it and took it to the next level.
Yeah, and that thousands of miles driven on that rig, and it was the original design by a guy named Dean Ayer, who used to go by True Grit, and a lot of us had fake names and handles, but you could find Dean on iRacing, as a matter of fact. I know he's out there, but Dean had built this sim rig, and we're going to show you some pictures as we're talking about it. Actually, let's start by going to his site. Go to true-grit.com/simsports, and don't forget this, .htm. If you don't put the .htm after the /simsports, then Dean, you got an old school website there, buddy. But anyway, put the .htm. You'll get to the site no problem, and you can see all of Dean's creations. So anyway, the instructions are a little vague, but if you follow pictures, you can put one together just like I did.
Yeah, what are you going to need? A drill. You're going to need a couple of bits for that drill, and you're going to need to cut some 2x4s and stuff, so a circular saw is going to come in handy.
Tape measure and a carpenter's square. 5-pound box of 2.5-inch coarse drywall screws. And then some bolts, and all these directions are at Dean's site here. And we're not going to go over exactly what you need, but...
well, you're going to need paint. You got to customize it.
Yeah, don't go with what I did. I was so anxious to get driving in my rig that I never painted it. I slapped a bunch of stickers on it, and...
I think we painted one side just for the show when we actually had to use it.
You'll see that in the pictures. We got some of it gray, but anyway, it worked great. I mean, I don't think... The seat cost more than anything. I went to Jegs. And if you're not familiar with Jegs, here in the States, it's a parts, you can get high-performance parts from them.
And if you're building a rig, I would put a lot of attention into the seat, being that's what you're really going to be feeling.
Yeah, you need to go for comfort. Go to a local junkyard, get a seat out of whatever, the nicest car you can find there, and I'm sure they're not going to charge you much. Here in California, they got a place called Pick Apart, and you pay $5 admission or whatever to go in, and then you can pick any part you want out of any car. So that's basically the gist of it, and just taking your time, trial and error. Feel free to post some questions in our forum. We got our forum back up. It links to the SSCA forum, but post some questions or comments on the sim seat. I'll be happy to answer them.
And a home-built rig like that is a great next step. I mean, before that, I'm assuming you were where I was at. I was at a desktop. I had a wobbly chair on wheels that I had to figure out how to strap down. And
my back was killing me. And we started endurance racing. I think that was the main thing that got me to build that seat. was the endurance races were killing me.
And for many years, the wheel would come off the desk by accident, and again, that was the big first step, was getting into something, you know, purpose-built or made by me.
Yep. So there's the sim seat by Dean Ayer. Again, I'd like to thank him for posting all those cool pictures on how to do it, and made me comfortable. Thousands of miles of sim racing in Old Faithful, and yeah, it's retired, but not forgotten. So that's the DIY part, and we're going to take a quick break here really quick and come back. Z-Frame by TSW.